what y'all think, but I think that's pretty.
And here we go. Hi. Nice seeing you all. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Aaron. Resby, Rene. Hi. So, the hoodie is here. The hoodie is here, so the stream will be good, you know. Yeah. Okay, nice seeing you all. Is the music too loud maybe for you? I may need to drop it down just a smidge, something like this. Hey, Paul, nice seeing you here. Welcome. So, yeah, let's first start with what did I... okay. I have a couple of things that are more or less related to either heating or cooling on my desk, but I also have something under the desk that's completely unrelated to anything I think I've done so far. Let me just close this. So, how's everybody doing? How's your Saturday, mornings, evenings, good days, or good nights, depending on where you are? Topic of today's stream will be related to my previous video, and that one is heating. I will not be going into details about my heating because that will be a topic for video in 2 weeks. Actually, we can talk a bit about that, but I want to go into detail into that in that video. I also have a couple of things that I unfortunately wasn't able to fit in the video, but are great. Hey, Mark, nice seeing you. And I also have one excellent topic on community forum by Mark. So, Mark, thanks for, a lot of energy and time that was spent into posting that one. It's from April and it's very, very long, but I really do like it. So yeah, we will also go into that one. And I really like how his post from April somehow matches. I didn't cover, unfortunately, in that video. I always make too long videos, so people don't like watching too long videos. Oh, I got notification that I just started streaming. So I usually make too long videos, but even that is a finished product that you see as a finished product usually is cut out of hour and a half of material. So a lot of things at the end do get cut out and don't exist. But I did mention on Twitter today we have once again sponsor, which of course all of you who have been here for a long time know that this is not true. I don't have a sponsor. But each stream we open one energy drink from Spar Budget. These are the brand names of a retailer. Today we will be drinking Tutti Frutti. So let me open that one here. Thanks Spar for sponsoring this one. Although you didn't. Cheers. So let's start with... let me switch to main. This is the post that I'll be looking at a little bit later on. Let me first show you something. I don't know if anybody knows about this Ninyom Peipa Kwa. Hands up if anybody knows what this is. Well, this is something that I just had 2 spoons before the stream because my throat is already a bit sore. And I had a fever last couple of days, but yeah, I still wanted to do the stream. So hopefully this one will be, working out for the next 2 hours or longer if we make it longer. So one thing that I missed, unfortunately, in the video, completely cut everything related to that one, was the better thermostat. I don't know if anybody has seen this or not. Oh look, Mark Jones, your name is on screen too. This is the HACS component. It's still in beta, and this is, I would say that some of the things that you usually have to do through the automations, they're bundled inside this HACS component. I still not 100% sure if I will be making a separate video on that or not. But for anybody that is interested in anything related to the heating, this may be a good thing to look at. Features uses temperature sensors far away from the radiators to measure a real room temperature. So this is used instead of the standard thermostat card that is inside your home assistant. Also, instead of classical integration for that device. So you don't use, for example, Shelly TRV or whatever TRV you're using. This one, it uses also as a generic thermostat, separate thermostat for the device. It says that it makes your TVs fully compatible with Google Home. Let your windows disable your heating. So one of the automations that I mentioned is automating when the windows are open, closed, depending if you have AC or heating. So if it detects that the window or door is open for longer than, I think I covered that one in a previous video, not this one, but 2 weeks ago. So I created automation that would cut whatever heating, cooling when the window is open for more than 5 minutes. This already has it inside. Hey Johnny, nice seeing you. The moderator is here. Watch out, he has a wrench. This one, your weather forecast provider will turn your heat on and off. So this is also, oh, Alan, pozdrav. Nice seeing you too here. So weather card or weather provider, forecast provider can be also integrated in this, and this allows you to do some other tricks with heating. This is something that Tado has out of the box. And yes, you can do that without this integration, but it's much easier because it should allow you to select what weather provider you're using, and depending on that, it will disable or enable heating and things like that. Valve maintenance automatically to avoid the stock close over summer. So yes, also depends on the type of the valve you are using. I have a Tado. Tado does have that automatically, so same as, for example, my Violent boiler, gas heater. In the summer, every, I don't know, week, 2 weeks, month, I'm not sure what is the cycle. I think that this can be also changed. It does a cold start and runs the heat pump, opens and closes valves just to prevent them from getting stuck over the summer. Tado thermostatic valves have the same thing, they just open and close without starting the heating cycle. So this prevents calcification, whatever it's called, on the valve. So yeah, the valves don't get stuck. There is a list of supported devices, but I know that, for example, these are, something is pinging down there constantly, like Google, whatever. These are supported devices, but from the documentation, what I've seen, you can also use the Shelly TRVs, although they are not listed here. So yeah. Oh yeah, and one nice thing is it can combine multiple TRVs into one group. So actually, if you have a couple of radiators in the same space, you can open and close them together without each one of them working separately. Of course, you can control them individually, but it may make more sense to group them and use them as a pair or whatever. But they've not just made that one. So with better thermostat, you also have better thermostat UI card, and this is this one here, which looks similar to the classical adaptation of the default HA thermostat card. Eco temperature, disable window, and disable summer. So yeah, it has a bit more functionality than the normal card. What's pinging constantly? Like something is not connected or? Okay. So yeah, that's something that I wanted to mention because I really am sorry that this didn't at the end fit the video. And as I said, I'm still not sure if I will be making an individual video about it or not. Hey Teme, nice seeing you. By the way, this really will be good stream because not that I'm just wearing this hoodie, but I also have glasses, and you know that this will be good stream if I'm wearing glasses. Okay, so let me close this window. Let me leave these two here. Before we jump into serious things, some other funny things is this is me when I was a bit younger. Let me just okay, so if anybody okay, first of all, this is Croatian only for now. The guys are working on the subtitles, but subtitles are still not available. I will be dropping a link into the chat. So anybody that can speak Croatian or partially understanding more or less Slavic languages will actually be okay. I had a 42 minutes, God, I can talk too much, interview, and it's more or less about how this started and things like that. Well, I get matching hoodie. So let me close this one too. Okay, Mark, I don't know if you're still in chat or not, but Mark created an awesome post. Let me copy this and also post it in the Yay, I made it. In the April of this year, just one day after a very special day to me, Mark posted something and I wasn't able to, unfortunately, due to some other things that I had to do today, which is called I had a beer after lunch and then fell asleep. I wasn't able to read everything through, but from what I've seen, Alan, for you, I can still do that. With the recent energy price increase across the world, it seemed like an appropriate time to post details of my project that attempts to save energy in the home by turning down the heating based on occupancy. It's a long post. It's very detailed, but it will really help you if you have similar system, and similar can be either room heating controlled via the smart radiator valves, underfloor heating that is controlled in the rooms, oil radiators, or how they call it, the Nordic system, the Nordic heating system, where you have that like a block of, it's not concrete, it's some kind of a material that has electrical wires also, and it is used to heat up and then emit heat, through the day. So there are various things that you can do. I really do recommend that you read up this post. It does a really excellent. It is really excellent written and full of details. It's really awesome. Work days, work nights, because in my video I also skipped one thing that I missed in the video, was the scheduling part. I only talked about automation, device tracking, for the heating to turn off or on when you are not at home, for proximity sensors that can help you increase or decrease the temperature depending on how far or how close to your home you are. I did talk about the presets. Presets are great for using with the schedules, but I didn't show you any automation or anything related to the scheduling, so you can check this out. I think that Mark said that he will be trying to use the scheduling in future to switch from input helpers, from helpers to the internal home assistant scheduling. Something is pinging constantly. One of the speakers, I think, has lost the connectivity. So yeah, and especially if you look at the results and comparison between 2021 heating season, 21-22, it's like 20% less electricity used for heating. If you can save up to 20% of energy cost, whatever that energy cost, with today's prices, it will be really, really, really great. Yeah. So that's why I posted the link, and I really do think that you should have a read up on that one. It is, as I said, a bit longer, but it really goes into details, how to create presets, how to control, how to use the presets. I think he also mentions the proximity. Let me find it. I think that I've seen proximity.
Pick up your phone and no one is there. And for a while I was really scared of them. Like, it's definitely
Yeah.
something that
To detect when we are approaching home to turn on the heating. Currently this is some presence detection, so there can be delay before the home heats up. Use bed occupancy detection to determine when everyone has gone to bed. Yeah, okay. Hey, Kemi, nice seeing you. Shemi or Kemi. I'm sorry about the pronunciation. I probably have butchered your name. Hi. So that's one of the things that I also wanted to talk to you about today. I have a couple of devices. Let me quickly change to this one here. So if anybody has any questions, it can probably be opened. No, we are not going to open this one. If anybody has any questions, we can also look at the Shelly valve. I think I have it open here also. Yep. The second one, Shemi. I used to. I cannot. No. I never. I learned French. I was learning French. I never learned French. Something like that. So yeah. Okay. We have Shelly TRV, so we can play with that one. But I also have this. I've half of the video is already recorded. Actually, when I receive stuff, I do record most of the things, but not all the things end up in a separate video. So for example, I don't think that I have any video showing you how to set up the Tado smart thermostatic valves. For this one, I did the unboxing part, the initial setup. The setup is Spanish, sorry. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm bad at. I don't know Spanish. I never learned it. So yep, let's cook it up. Like this. So okay, first of all, what this is the Tado device. This is the only device that is missing currently in my setup. So I have Tado thermostat, Tado gateway, because you need to have gateway with the thermostat and thermostatic valves, and this is the AC controller. I still haven't finished installing it completely. I now need to pair it with the AC remote so that it learns the codes from the AC remote controller, so it can control directly the air conditioning. Tado. Hi. And if I press here, it will wrench, and then I think, no, it will not. I have to open the app to go to the next step. So the idea for this one is to not only be able to control the heating, but also the cooling. I will be adding it to my system. I need to finish that part before the next video. Not the next video. Next video will be about the new 2022.11 Home Assistant. So week after that, I'll be releasing a video about my setup, where I'll be featuring. It will be Tado only, because I am really using Tado only, and I have been. Why am I so persistent with Tado? I've been using it now. I think Tado thermostat, I think that I've been using it for the 8 years or 8 years or something like that. So yeah, and I really do like it, and it did have two issues, or so I think I also created one video especially for one of the issues. But if you look at the system that's been working for 8 years, I would say it's flawless. You know, to have 3 or 4 problems or issues in 8 years, it's like one issue per 2 years, which is statistically, you know, 100% uptime or whatever. I never had heating fail to heat. I did have one problem at one point because the heating was heating when it should not be heating. It was a result of the low power in one of my TRVs and the old gateway I had. So when I bought the set, it was very old version. I think it was version 2. Gateway was version 2, and the smart thermostat is the same, I think, as the ones that are used today. Then after a couple of years, I think after 5 years, I only used for 5 years, I only used the smart thermostat. I bought the thermostatic radiator valves in a kit, and it was cheaper for me to buy a kit with, I don't know, 2 or 3 valves inside. I think there were like 2 valves gateway plus 1 valve extra. It was cheaper to buy it like that than to buy separate valves. So I just, you know, had that one as a spare one, and after I experienced that problem, the problem was that when the batteries were very low, they were not that low to report low battery, but they were still low enough that they would sometimes not be able to communicate with the gateway, and the gateway was the old gateway with the old receiver inside. And what happened is that they initiated call to heat to the gas heater, and they were sending, okay, enough heat, cut off the heating, but the gateway never received that message. So the valve actually closed itself. Actually, all the valves were closed, and this is why you have to have one free loop always in that system. The gas heater was heating all the other radiators that do not have smart valves, and it was like getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and it was not registering, you know, enough with the heat. So I replaced the gateway with a new one, which is the one that is currently, I think that this one that is sold today is even newer one, and replaced the batteries and everything worked. And because of that, I also have one automation that you sometimes may see in my video. This is how long the heating has been heating so far. So now I'm tracking not just in what state it is it heating or not, not only the open therm percentage of heat requests, but I'm also tracking that for how long the each of the climate controls was in a heat state. And if it remains in a heat state for 60 minutes, I get alerts. Actually, everybody receives alerts on the speakers, etc. This is just the fail-safe to notify us that it's still heating while it shouldn't heat no more. So yeah, that's the one issue I had. So as I said, I'm really looking forward to play with this one. This will be added to the system, and as I already have a gateway, I expected this to connect directly to the gateway, but during the installation process, this is the smart AC control. Let me show you what this is. Smart AC Tado. Okay, so not smart thermostat, but we will scroll through it. Products. Not this one, not this one. Yeah, it's already, winter is coming, or winter is here, so it's not prominent anymore. Learn more. I was expecting this one to also need the hub, but as I said, it asked me to change the screen. Yeah, so you can see what I can see. I'm a professional YouTuber. So for the third time, I was really surprised that it asked me for the Wi-Fi credentials, you know, SSID and the password. It looks like it is connected directly to the Wi-Fi network, which is also awesome. It means that you don't have to have gateway for that one, because other products from Tado, such as Smart Valve and Smart Thermostat, require to have you to have the hub or gateway, how they call them, and it's working on a proprietary protocol. So it's not Wi-Fi, it's not Zigbee, it's some kind of their own protocol they are using, which is awesome for this one. Yeah. Okay, it can be used both for the ACs or the heat pumps if you're using air-to-air heat pumps or something similar. It should be compatible with most of the AC devices, especially the newer ones. The installation is really awesome, and I really like this thing that you can it has guides, so you can wrap the wires underneath if you have extra wires, and it has a possibility to be mounted so that wires go on the upper side or on the lower side, which is really, really awesome. Everything is awesome. Ooh, I pressed something. Doesn't matter. So yeah, but as I said, I still haven't finished the installation. I have to pair it with the AC. Why, as I started telling you, why do I really like Tado devices? They will not fit everybody, because I was lucky one. I was early adopter, meaning that I get some perks as an early adopter that the others don't. So as I bought the device 8 years ago, at that time the app was 100% free. And all of the functionality was free of charge, and you could use the geolocation, automatic, all the automations that are part of the Tado system, that on the other hand you would probably need to do via the Home Assistant or by hand through the app, are part of the app. And at one point they figured that they cannot finance the data centers needed for everything if you just buy the device and don't have subscription. So decided to create app where you have, I would say, 70-80% of the functionality free of charge, but some more advanced things as automatic actions, they require subscription. And the subscription itself, I don't know how much the subscription is now. I think that it was around 3 euros or 4 euros at that time a month for these advanced features. But we as early adopters approached them and said, listen guys, when we bought your products, all of us bought it with that functionality that you are now trying to sell us. So if we don't get that functionality, you could potentially be in some legal troubles. It took a couple of months for this, back forth, negative reviews, back forth, etc. But at the end, they decided to give all the current users options for a one-time purchase. I think it was like 20 euros. And for 20 euros, we could unlock the lifetime, all of the advanced functionalities. So things that some people now spend money and pay as a monthly charge, we had a one-time fee, and we now have it free of charge. So it's easy for me, that's what I wanted to say. It's easy for me, to tell you that Tado is awesome, because I did have initial purchase. After that, I made 20 euros purchase for that one-time purchase, and that's it. I don't have to pay Tado anything unless I buy new device or replace existing device, etc. So some things from my perspective will be different to anybody who is just going for the Tado. And Paul, as you said, it's really, I don't have experience. If Netatmo sends me their devices, if I don't know, Ecobee or whoever makes similar devices sends me, I will test them. But this one is really working. You know, we sometimes overcomplicate things in the smart home. We create automations where probably we shouldn't create automations. We either too much automate or too little automate. This is this ecosystem for them, and I'm not getting paid. I never have been paid. By the way, I did receive this one free of charge. They offered to send me almost, I wouldn't say a year ago, but it was a long time ago. And I said, no, listen guys, hold on, maybe in the future. And when I was preparing to record this video, I said, okay, listen, the problem is I still do not have AC installed, and that's why I didn't buy this device previously. I don't still have AC. I will test this at my father's place, and I will hook it up to my system just to be able to show you what it can do. But this was, as I said, the only device that was missing. So I never been paid by them. I really do like them. I was a couple of times very displeased with their actions. One of them was going to the paid application, subscription service for advanced functionalities, but that was also overcome, and they ended up looking okay in my eyes. So what is our smart homes if we are using any kind of smart home technology? This can be closed systems such as Amazon closed system or Google's closed system or whatever that company with the apples is called. Those are closed systems somewhere run in the cloud, where we unfortunately cannot do everything that our devices, sensors that we have at home can provide. And they also require hand use, so meaning that it doesn't, how the Paul Hibbert would say, it just doesn't work. It simply needs action or reaction from us humans to make something do something. I set up my heating system with a smart thermostat 8 years ago. The only changes I made was when I tweaked the schedule during the pandemics, when we were more or less all the time at home, but also it meant that we didn't have to wake up hour early to go to schools and work. We could sleep 1 hour longer, so I just pushed the schedules a bit, shortened the heating period. And the second tweaking was done this summer when I lowered the heating temperature, desired heating temperature, 0.5 degrees downward. So what was previously 22.5 is now 22. What was 22 is now 21.5. These are the only things I did on this system in last 8 years. I never shut it down. I never turn it on. I never check what is the temperature because it feels comfortable. Meaning it's not too hot, it's not too cold. The system does everything. For example, I want 22 degrees in my living room at 8 o'clock. And the system sees that the sun is rising and it will be sunny, and it stops heating at 21.2 degrees or something like that, and leaves the rest of the sun, because during the period it has also machine learning. It has learned how fast my apartment is losing the energy or heat, but also how fast it heats from the sun and also how fast it heats from the radiators. And it acts based on our presence. Yeah, each one of us has to have app, a mobile phone and the app for it to work as it should. But yeah, everybody had a phone even before that app, so it's no issue. One of the things I had issues with it is when my oldest daughter was a lot younger, and she either didn't have phone or had some issues with the phone, and she was turning off geolocation services. So Okay. So what happened? My wife and I went to IKEA with the younger one. She was left home, and home didn't know that she was present, and it turned off the heating in the winter. Of course, we didn't go for a week or two. We went for a couple of hours out. So the temperature just fell 1.5 degrees in that period, but that's it. And my point is, you need to have all the systems like that. They have to work. You don't have to look at them. That's why I like the smart thermostat, because it's on the wall and nobody even bothers to go there and see what's the temperature, because you've set it up and it works. That's it. Something is still pinging. Okay, so enough about free advertisement for Tado. If I continue like that, they will never sponsor me. Actually, they will never sponsor me, but that's a different story. Well, so any ideas? Do you have some ideas on what you can do, how you do things with your home assistant and heating? Do you use gas? Do you use electricity? Do you use underfloor heating? I'm sorry that I wasn't able to cover underfloor heating in the video. It can be similar, but it's also completely different, so I didn't touch that one. Where is it? Official drink. Okay, let's look at my test system here. Yeah, some things here may look a bit different than your system looks, but ignore that one. I'm just running a bit different version of the Home Assistant. This is the beta 2. Yeah, it's beta 2 of 2022.11. Let's go here, let's go here, let's go here. I posted a teaser. About 4 or 5 days before. Oh yeah. Before we go there, I want to show you something. Anyone knows what this is? Do you know if it can be used 2 wireless sensors from Tado, or one on ground floor, the second on the first floor, and deciding the control of the unique gas heater? So you're talking. Okay. So I don't have Tado's external sensors. I know that they exist, but I never had need for them. I find that the sensors that are with the radiators for me work because of the setup of the rooms. I'm not sure how they are added to the system. I'm not sure if it completely overrides the thermostat temperature, or is it using it just as extra source. So in my setup, I have smart thermostat on the wall, which has, I'm using eBus open therm connection, but let's call this a relay, which switches on and off the heating. I know that thermostatic valves can send command to this smart thermostat and say turn the relay on and off or whatever. I'm really not sure about the sensors, but I believe that you can do the same thing, or I hope that you can do the same thing. I'm not sure if they create in the app from Tado, if they create additional device for control or not, because Tado has, let's go back to the Tado up. Where is there image from the app? Oh, I didn't see even this one. Smart radiator thermostatic basic. Didn't see that one. So this is the temperature, add-on temperature sensor. My thermostat looks exactly the same. Alexander, yeah, great. Mark, you're right. You are right about this one. You are right. You get, you want the internet. You want the internet. I don't know what else to tell you. You want the internet. So Tado has these wireless sensors. Expand your setup with extra wireless temperature sensor to measure temperature precisely and control multiple radiators in a room with one device. So yeah, I presume that it does the same thing, but I'm not sure. Teme, underfloor heating is in use. Automation is following Nord Pole spot pricing and the switch thermostat on for 3 lowest hours per day. Mark, actually no, but I like the idea. I didn't know that you can do mini surgery with this. I'm really looking forward to play with the Lancer. Yeah, Johnny, that's a good question. That's completely unrelated to anything, but you know, we have working laser. We can do something funny. It should be this. I was shown on how to use this for skin care treatments, or for if there is ache in the muscles, bones, and things like that, to use the heat from the laser to. But I've seen in the settings they said don't use any, don't touch anything besides the miscellaneous, and this is called desensation menu. But when they were scrolling through the menus, I've seen it. I don't know, something like removing parodontosis and things like that, so it can be also used for the for the surgery. Sorry, back to you, Teme. Underfloor heating is automation is following the North Spot pricing and switch thermostat on for 3. Yeah, for it's funny how we still I think that especially if you are using something like open therm, I still think that price for the heating with the gas here in Croatia is in the continental. So we have two different regions. One is continental, the other one is Mediterranean. In Mediterranean, AC that you use for cooling during the summer should be also sufficient for the heating in the winter. And I don't think that 50% of the coast even has gas as a energy source, both for cooking or for heating. So they are left with only either using wood pellets, wood pellet stove, or the electricity or heat pumps or the solar, things like that. So for us, it's here in the continental Croatia, even with the rising prices, and we cannot even compare the prices we have here because of all the government protection we have on prices than, for example, some of you have in your countries. Same thing goes for the electricity. The prices did go up, but you have to also take into account what were the previous pricing. So we also have locked in prices until the April next year. So until the April of next year, which means by the time the heating season is done, yeah, the prices will remain as is. So for me here, it still makes more sense to heat on the gas, and probably it will be that way for the next year, 2 or 3. Nobody knows what will happen in the long term. So I don't know if me investing in the new gas heater this year was a good or bad idea, but it just died one day and I had no time but to replace what I have instead of searching and trying to figure out how I will heat up the water in the kitchen, how I will heat up the water in the bathroom or for the shower or heating of the apartment. So I really had like 7-day window of replacing it. It took more than 7 days, but I had to make up my mind in 24 or 48 hours, and there was no way I would be able to research something good enough to be sure I'm not making a mistake. So my safest bet at May was, just it died, just replaced it with the newer, better, more efficient, whatever, nicer looking or whatever version of the same device, then trying to research and find the heat pumps, etc. And also, once again, my case of heating is different than a lot of people that also live here where I live with same temperatures outside, same solar radiation, providing heat, etc. We have everything on both on the street side and on the yard side is glass, and that's good thing and that's bad thing. Good thing is that it allows the apartment to quickly heat up even if there is a small amount of sun, but it also means that in a summer we are in a glass house and it's like wow. If outdoor temperature is below 0, electricity price is very low. HA raised target temperature with 2 degrees. Yeah, we have one house out of the city, which for years now I have been planning and looking. It's summer house, so we rarely use it when the temperature falls below certain degrees outside, because we have to empty all the water pipes and everything. Hey, ciao! Come stai, Vic? Va bene? My Italian. No, we were just talking about you. Yeah, you missed a lot about Tado. So, the problem there is that since nobody lives there, this is like summer house. We used to go there over the weekends or for longer periods during the summer. Even a couple of years when it was nice, we moved there for the summer and I was going to the office from there, which is not something that you would do now with the prices of the gas, etc. But okay, it's nice idea. The problem is heating. The house was heated on the wood only, just like chop down the wood and heat it. And in theory, out of 3 floors of the house, you would heat 2 rooms, and that's it. Nothing else, nothing more. So at that time, we were looking at the gas storage, the tank with the gas where they bring you the gas, because there was no piping for the gas near the house. Then the pipe did arrive to our fence, which means now we have to, if we want, we have to dig out the fence. But I never liked the idea that house would be a great project to play with renewables. So I was looking already at that point at heat pumps. 2 options. One is the dig straight down. If you play Minecraft, if you've ever played Minecraft or seen Minecraft, there is one rule in Minecraft: never dig down. So I was looking for a way either to lay down vertical piping, which would then have constant heat or cold from the ground that allows you to heat or cool the house based on that. The other option is to, instead of vertical, use the horizontal lines, have like 100 meters of piping through the yard and use that to heat or cool the piping. So if I would do something like that, I would go for solar for power. It would not be grid tie as the project I'm doing currently here. It would be not like full system, whole roof full of solar tiles, and then batteries, and then playing with the day-night, using power from the batteries when the electricity is more expensive, and just pulling minimum power from the grid on the peak things, etc. So, but that was just one of the ideas. Johnny, my electricity is locked until 2023, and then I will start paying the big buck. Need to figure out why I use as much power. Well, I think that you have a lot of equipment. If I've seen your a list of server equipment you have, so yeah, I also should probably. I have now one problem that I have to resolve. I know that Frank, or no Frank, who was that? Was it Frank? Yeah, Frank was posted on the Twitter that he's now playing with the. Is this even working here? I don't think that this is even working here. I don't know what I did. Let's try to fix it. Energy. Add consumption. Shelly. Shelly. EM1. Why? Everything here is. I like it. Shelly 1L, Shelly EM. Total consumption. Shelly. Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, sensor shall really more than once for dictionary. Okay, cancel. Let's remove this. Are you sure? Add consumption. Oh, I love these issues with the UI. Yeah, but I don't think that this is working. Does it need to be? No, it needs to be total consumption. It has to be increasing. Look, the values are here. I can't. Yeah. So we have locked in prices for the wow, Cisco switches pull a lot of power. I know that for sure. And I was really surprised to learn, because I was at one point thinking of getting some used old Cisco equipment because we have a lot of write-offs. And when I've seen the power, how power hungry they are, I just decided to don't go that route. Back to that one. So in terms of electricity pricing, we have currently fixed pricing, I think also for about 6 months. But I think that we cannot use more than what was the there was some kind of a number, and I know that I calculated that with my current power consumption in 6 months I am very close to that limit. I think I average it about 12 kilowatt hours per day used, and I'm currently around. Let me switch to my main setup and just give me a second, because due to various other issues it takes a bit for me to switch it. Okay, I have to tick this. Do you agree to show your private data on screen? Yes. Okay, so this is my main setup, which I don't show that much anymore on the screen. As you can see, power is close to 12 kilowatt hours. And if I pass this total expected amount of power, which averages to 12 kilowatt hours per day for 6 months, I get like 50% or 100%. There is some kind of price increase. So I really should start doing what Frank did. Our pricing is, damn, I think our prices here is 8 cents per kilowatt hour or something like that. It's peanuts, maybe even less than that. I forgot. We were looking at. It's like, just give me a second. I think let me get the calculator. We are still not on euros, so let me see. It's like 50 cents, not 15 lipas. 50 lipas divided by 7.5. It's like around 6 cents is currently what we currently pay for kilowatt hours. On top of that, you have some kind of a markup, but yeah. If I overpass or use more electricity than that, it price like doubles or something like that. So I will be playing a bit more. I have to finish. I don't know. Alexei is probably not here. I have to final. I don't have time, and I know that. By the way, last day I worked. Last day. It's not last day. I took once again a vacation. I've been taking a lot of vacations lately. So I was, for the last day in the office was on Thursday. On Friday I was out, and I will be back in the office on Wednesday. And you would think that I would have enough time to do, but no way. There is no way that I will be able to touch PowerCalc. And devs really hate PowerCalc because it creates just too much entities. They would rather have that implemented in Home Assistant in a bit different way. Somehow, it would be awesome if somebody would talk with the devs and see how PowerCalc could be imported into the Home Assistant to fit what they think is best for Home Assistant. And what they don't like is they don't like that it just like creates a ton of additional entities on top of what's already there. So they would like to have attributes and some things like that. Okay, let me kill this one. Whoa, lot of messages. Johnny, would you care export some of your cheaper power to the rest of us? Yeah, I don't know if you caught that one. I think it was mentioned somewhere on some of. Oh yeah, when the last release 2022.10 on the stream from the HA devs, there was I posted that I have full power banks, and it was an internal joke because they suggested me to sell them power banks with the prices of the electricity we currently have. Okay, so yeah, Johnny, as you said, Frank spent a lot of time tracking this, and I really should track. For example, in the summer, my apartment were using around 200 watts per day. Currently, with similar load, what's it using now? Let's go to overview and this one here. Now it's using 565 watts, so it's like 300 watts more. But if you look at the power consumption from the lights, it's peanuts. I think that overall currently, even with these lights, I don't spend more than not even close to 100 watts. It's like 70 watts or something like that. So that's what's strange, that power is up that much. Let's see, 46 watts upstairs lights, 16 watts downstairs lights. Currently the washing machine is in standby and the printer is in the standby, and I'm using 585 watts of power. As a professional YouTuber, I will now switch back to what I was showing you because you couldn't see, because yeah. So as I was saying, I'm using 544 watts of power currently, and if you look at the lights, it's 46, 16, 0.4 for washing machine, and 1 watt is pulled by this one. And yeah, of course, my older daughter just exited her room and forgot to switch the lights. So like it was like 6 watts of power. So yeah, but I don't know where these 586 watts of power are really going. That's my biggest issue, and I really should go and try to find what's going on. All my power measuring equipment broke. Sonoff power. Yeah, I don't like Sonoff. Okay, no, again, I will be losing sponsorships in the future. Hi Klaus, let me not forget that one. If I would be opting out for devices, I would much less prefer Sonoff devices than other devices. It's my personal opinion. I don't have any specific reason except for really not going via the open home or open source standards. More or less hacking things than developing them in a way that they should be developed. So I don't feel comfortable with Sonoff devices. I do have a couple of Sonoff devices. I still have on my desk this NS Panel Pro, and it's running nicely Home Assistant on it, and it's working great. Would I recommend you to buy that one? I know that Blackadder has created a couple of posts for some different devices. I need to finish this video, and I really need to finish this one. This is the no. I really need to finish this one. The idea is I'm still considering if it's a good idea or bad to use this touch screen that also has speakers, blah blah blah, everything, as a device that could be mounted in the drywall, and then that can also run Home Assistant and be used as a display too, as a device that allows you to have both display and the Home Assistant, and all in one device. But the problem with that is that devs don't like that idea, because I would be using non-recommended version of Home Assistant installation, and those installations can break. And I think that so far I've broke mine once, and yeah, it's not really recommended to go that route. Okay. Matheson, we are currently pulling about 200 watts. I have no issues with POVs ever. Used them for a long time. I switched to ZB plugs for a new stuff added. So for power monitoring, I love Shelly's. I have a lot of Shelly plugs. I really wish that Shelly, just one day wakes up and decides to send me bunch of their devices. I need more. What I need and I'm missing, and maybe some of you can help me. Yeah, I've seen that one week. I've seen that one, and I really like what he posted. It's like, but that was not on the AliExpress. It was on Alibaba, and it was only available for commercial buyers, meaning the companies, and not for the end users. So what I need something that I can put in the. I need something like a pass-through power monitoring without the relay itself. I'm not looking for a device. That has to have relay in it. I just want to have something that's in the power socket. I can put it behind the power socket, wire it in, and that it allows me and that it is a commercial product, not DIY product. I can do DIY products, but I need them a lot. I need them fireproof, certified. They can work independently 1 year without touching them. That kind of device I need. I think that I will be using for that some kind of Shelly relays also. If anybody finds any good power monitoring Zigbee, I would definitely like to hear about that one. Automagic Week, so something terrible happened. Something terrible happened. I don't know if anybody has seen any of my evil bunker videos, but I created a couple of evil bunker videos. And I don't know what happened. Let me find button. This is the button. My Geiger counter died. But my second Geiger counter also died. I'm not sure what's going on. I really cannot figure it out. One Geiger counter is power. I had something strange happen to me yesterday, which I cannot explain. So one thing is that Geiger counter is connected directly to the ESP32 board. Oh, look. If you unplug it and plug it, the second one is now working. If you plug it and unplug it, I've noticed that this one is not working because my Bluetooth proxy didn't work, and that Bluetooth proxy is on that ESP board. So I didn't know what to do. I reset it a couple of times, plugged it off on, and then the Bluetooth proxy started working, but unfortunately the Geiger counter died, and probably the tube needs to be replaced. And I love that project, but okay, it's great that now finally I managed to get this one running. This is the Zigbee Geiger Miller counter. But question is, you had a question, Paul, why Zigbee power monitoring? So if it's powered via the mains power, if the Zigbee device is powered via the mains power, it acts as a router, meaning that it automatically also expands the network, and that would be the cheapest and most efficient way to have stable Zigbee network. The reason for that is that I've decided that in 2 of the projects that I'm doing next year, I will not be using smart bulbs. Instead of using smart bulbs, I will be using smart switches. And smart switches, if they can be used as routers and this power monitoring, it would really create a stable network for the sensors. And those 2 projects will have per square meter really a lot of sensors. I've created today, at least no, it's on the laptop. I didn't sync it up here, so it's like 40-50 door windows / temperature sensors, and I want to have good network, and that's why I would rather prefer having the Zigbee routers, because for sensors I will definitely not be going Wi-Fi way. Something, huh? Maybe power spikes. Oh, the other thing I'm having issues is that I think that I replaced batteries in my UPS. We've completely went the opposite way, but I like the streams that go completely the opposite way. So the idea of the stream was to talk about heating. We're talking about the energy, but it's all related. I replaced battery on the UPS, I think in September, and I've noticed that it now is switching to battery power at least dozen times a day. I can have up to 30 times a day. It switches for a couple of seconds to the it switches for the couple of seconds to the batteries and then get back. If anything, I don't hear it beeping because it switches so fast on and off that it even doesn't start beeping. I think in last month and a half I only heard it once beep for a second, then stopped. That usually means that power is fluctuating. But if I look at the power graphs, I don't see any spikes. I don't see any dips, both up or down, in terms of the... Where are the volts currently? Okay, it's not perfect, but it's okay. Let me switch once again to my main setup. What's going on here? Missing... Okay, I know what's going on. This one here. So this is the current voltage. Let's go show more. Let's see how far we can go. Let's go from the 1st to 29th. I don't know how long it's keeping data. It will take some time for this to get processed. Yeah, Klaus, I don't know if I've said yes or not for that one. Fridge is, I think that currently the biggest issue for me is the fridge. And I was also surprised. I created, it was like a month ago or 2 weeks ago, I created that video about the electricity and also tracking the temperature inside the fridge. And it was really strange to see how it had really big spikes in losing the temperature, meaning that it had very frequent spikes of motor running. Okay, I'm using Shelly EM for energy monitoring balance. Paul, yeah. Wow, really? Exploded. How come? What's the backstory? We are starting the process of remodeling the old house, where we will be making for ourselves a small apartment on the seaside, and we are also in the process of building a house where we will have one small apartment, which we will at the end probably either sell or rent. It's also on the seaside, or just leave it for the kids to enjoy. Well, my teen is 18 in a couple of months, so as far as I'm okay for her now. The architects had finished with the designs of the space for this new house, and I have designed the space in the old house. So I'm starting to work on where I want the sensors, how I want this to... I want it to be as unintrusive in terms of the home automation, but still provide you with all of the things that you can have benefit from. For example, as it's a seaside, it will have the ACs. So I definitely do not want to have any AC running when the windows or doors are open. Most of the time, probably this apartment will not be working. So I want to have as less of power consumption as possible. So one of the reasons I will not be going for the bulbs is that each of the bulbs, when powered off, if it's smart bulb, will also be using some electricity. So that's the things I'm trying to see how much of a power I can avoid using, what could be potential benefits of this whole system, but taking into regard that this will not be used for 90% of the or 70% of whatever. It will mostly not be occupied or used unless we rent it. And on the other hand, if we rent it, I want to keep it as simple as possible. I don't want them to to have to load the Home Assistant app, or I'm just kidding, but I don't want to create. If somebody arrives there, I want apartment to look as a standard apartment, but on the other hand, for me to have the options to control and tweak things like bedroom cameras. And no, I'm just kidding. But you know, I just received email from one company today, and I didn't have enough time to look through it. But what I see that they are doing, their company that's renting the apartments, and they have automated tasks like smart door locks that allows you know to create keys, pins for the guests, pins for the people that are cleaning the apartments, that have time validity. You know, you cannot enter before the hour or after the hour and things like that. And they had a couple of questions now, exactly in that direction. You know, how to minimize electricity use, how to turn the lights off. Sorry to see you leave, damn. But have fun. Spock. What's that saying from the Lord of the Rings? Just kidding. So, wow, it took really long time. So I have data for last 2 weeks. Looks like that. And there are some spikes, 242 volts, and it goes down to 220 volts. Yeah. So, but I still do not believe. I don't know if this is related. We just got the. I know. I'm just kidding. Live long and smoke. Didn't Darth Vader said live long and smoke? I really like. There was that running joke that, hey, have you seen that movie Lord of the Rings, where that Gandalf guy, not Gandalf, where that from Harry Potter, how it's called, that Dumbledore says live long and prosper, something like that. You mix a couple of movies. So we got the EV chargers in front of the house, and the only thing that I can see potentially is that if they have done really bad job, and we also have the how it's called, trafostanica, you know, the local power station is like 50 meters from here. If they did pretty awful job at wiring, and now this EV charging station down there is influencing, you know, the whole power in the neighborhood. For example, when somebody starts to charge or stops to charge, that it creates spikes like that. That's the only thing that I see, because my UPS until a couple of months ago never ever had to stabilize the power. Okay, enough ranting. Yeah. Back to this one. Johnny, yeah, I was looking at the Amazon Fire. I think that Blackheader also posted that he found some tablets that were pretty okay for something like $80 or 80 euros, $80 in the EU warehouse. So I'm still not sure. I really would like, I would love to have the holy grail, you know, to have nuclear powered touchscreen that doesn't have to have any power outlets, that you can just like glue to your wall and have no wires. I hate wires, but my wife hates it even more. So I cannot have wires running. This desk here is complete mess, but unfortunately I don't sit here or work here that long. So that one speaker, okay, I will find it and I will destroy it. Galaxy Tab for her birthday, the repurpose of the Amazon Fire is probably the cheapest option. Yeah. But Mark, Paul, thanks for joining. I hope to see you next time. Yeah, sorry, I started the stream. I'm having currently a bit of fever and sore throat, so I apologize. Everything. My concentration is. Neil, no, actually, I said 6 euro cents. 6. Okay, where I was, I'm sorry, my concentration is really terrible. Tablet and fixture frame charging brick is power smart. I don't know if I ever released the video on that one. I really wish I had. I must admit that I've have become lazy. Unfortunately, I didn't do any real project in a long time. So all I've been recording lately is off the shelf things. I didn't create any new devices, any new Zigbee stuff, anything. There is currently only one video that is available that's been recorded, I think 10 days ago, but it's still waiting to be released, and it's related to this device, which I'm just like showing, but really not showing because we were asked to not talk about that much. I really miss doing projects, but each video takes some time to record, and my wife has noticed that unfortunately lately I've been really busy at my work, and yeah, I'm really missing doing any kind of project. On Monday I'm going to pick up the solar panels. I paid 2 weeks ago for the solar panels, but still haven't been able to pick it up. So on Monday I will be picking up solar panel, and I have to prepare the video which will be released in a month about the solar panels in the apartment. That's currently really the only thing that I'm looking really forward to play with. I don't have anything to play with, and I'm a bit annoyed with some of the things I've been doing, but I'm really happy. I really hope that these videos that I've created that are energy related will have sense, will make people either think about them and go and do something. And in terms of what I want really to do, I really want to have time. I think I even managed to broke one of the legs. Yeah, I broke one of the. I didn't record video, and I already broke the leg here. Oh, let me try something. Let's kill. Oh yeah, we can kill this one. We can go to small. We can put the screen here. Scream. This is a scream towards all of you. Garbage on my. That's not garbage on my desk, and we can do something. This one is overhead filters. Krabaki. Ooh. Yeah, it's bad. I would have to play with it. Yeah, like no. Ooh, it's better. It's better. Okay. Floating devices in the mid-air. Ooh. I have. They are once again sponsoring. This is the running joke. Of course, Spar is not sponsoring. I really hope that you will be sponsoring us, but yeah. 40 euro cents per kilowatt hour. Yeah, that's Neil. That's really a lot. You have to put things in a perspective. I work in IT company and I do sales, and I'm senior sales now. So there are a lot of people that have much lower income than I do, and if you had previously prices that we have currently, let's say 6 cents prices, and they were like last year they were like 4 cents, which for you may not be that much, but going from 4 cents to 6 cents for the people that do not have money, it's a lot. You have to take into account. We are going to the euro in couple. We will be finally ending up with our local currency, which on the other hand most of us may not be happy with. But let's say that currently minimum wage is, I think, around, let's say that 3,000 local, it's like 400 euros per month is like, I would say, minimum salary. I think that for Zagreb currently it's around 900 euros is mean value, and with gas prices going like 20 or 30% up, with electricity prices going 20 to 30% up, but also with like things like bread. I've talked with colleagues on the work, so we usually, when we went out to the bakery, there was one baker down the road where we bought for 15 kunas, which is similar to 2 euros. We could buy something like 5 baguette or smaller baguettes for that, and now you can get 3. It's a pretty steep increase in overall costs of living, and people are really feeling it. So yeah, so that's why I really am hoping that any video I created in terms of any kind of energy saving will have some kind of benefit for somebody, at least to, you know, give them the idea where to start going on and what to do. VM bus. Oh, give me a second. I will do back in 5.
Hervé Tavernier sponsored the channel.
Mic is still on. Just a second.
Team sponsored the channel. Span subscribed to the channel. Alan K sponsored the channel. Mario Tomzik sponsored the channel. Shaved Ape sponsored the channel.
Here. Okay. I don't know if
Jaffa
Andrea
Bob
is still
Fluff
here. I don't think
sponsored
that
the
he is
channel.
here. What's going on?
Slacker Labs sponsored the
this.
channel.
Let me kill off. I hate this. It looks so weird. I'm shortbread today. What I want to do? Sorry, concentration. Concentrate. Kill the chroma key. Okay. Glass is back on. I didn't have time to hook this up. I have, so let me post a link. I really have to post a link. He's been so, just give me a second. Give me a second.
Your voice is calling me, but it seems so far away. Every word you ever said, every feeling that you gave. Why did you let go? 'Cause I know.
Yeah. So, Marcel. I now also wanted to copy this. I don't know. I think that everybody already knows about Marcel and his devices. But if you do not know, really check him out. And I'm not saying just because he sent me those items. Actually, I think that I don't know if he knows because he used my address when I made the purchase. I bought a doorbell from him, which I have still in the pack, which unfortunately I was not able to install due to some other issues. But this time I really will be installing it. So web shop, he has doorbell version 2. I didn't have time to power them on. Okay, these do require separate power. I have to hook it up to the doorbell, etc. So this one is in the case, and if you buy from him, you can order a separate case. But I really would recommend that you do. These were custom colors, and I really love them. The print is perfect. I think that he's printing it on the Prusa printers. He has MMU, and he bought how it's called, the Carbon X1 bamboo paper. I don't know. I forgot it. So doorbell. Then he has this one. Slim laser. Once again, he made me a custom case, a blue, white. Hey, Alan, how are you? Well, actually, how are you, or how really are you with all the things going on? I hope really that you're doing okay. So I'm really I still haven't had. Okay, so my meter here doesn't still work with that one. I have analog, but in the summer house I have a digital one, and I will be really trying to hook it up there, because also I do not have no way to track power usage there. Vic, what you said, unfortunately those price increases are getting really most of my friends also work in the IT or some kind of other industry that I would say that still hasn't felt the impact of everything that's going on. We are a labor intensive industry, but in intellectual way labor, not the hand crafting or like factories, etc. So the running rates for us are still better than the people working at the shops or producing socks or harvesting potatoes or whatever. But I've seen that the talk about the pricing is more and more creeping in our conversation, because people are actually starting to feel the difference. When you pay 20-30% overall more for your food related costs, just like groceries, etc., you start noticing that, and people have started noticing. And on top of that, you have energy, you have transportation, like fuel, you have everything needs to be sustained. But yeah, it's really not that. And you are really right with the grain prices indicating possible unrest. That is true. So what I want to say, so I didn't know when I will be playing with them. I had different idea on how my weekend would look. I was planning to go and pick up the solar panels on Friday and work on the solar panels today, tomorrow, and on Monday. Then on Monday also start working on the new release of the video, which is the next release of Home Assistant, because usually versions are released on the same day when I released video. And previously what I did is I created stream that was just related to the new release. And it was really, it was like every third week, or when streams were like whenever there is a new release, there was also stream weekend after that. And I think that it's much easier when I have streams every other week. And by the way, I don't know if anybody has seen, I've posted a couple of posts today. Some of the posts said, Mario, hvala puno. Thank you, Mario. So I created one post that shows you what are 3 upcoming streams. So this stream was, we talked at the beginning of the stream about the gas, but then we went to electricity, and then we again went to the conspiracy theories. Sorry, not conspiracy theories, but to real life. The next stream will be in 2 weeks, and a couple of days before the stream, I will be releasing video on my Tado system, how I'm using, what I'm using. And one thing I didn't mention, but today, and I will, sorry, my throat is killing me. Tado is cloud-based service, meaning that the gateway is connected to the cloud. But Tado also, sorry. As you can see here, its Home Assistant can talk with Tado via the HomeKit integration locally. So if you have Tado, yes, it's a cloud-based service. It's a cloud-based service, but you can hook it up to Home Assistant and use local control. And this is something that I never talked, and this is something that I will be also mentioning in that video. So that stream will be in 2 weeks from today, and in 4 weeks from today, which also tells you how far ahead some things are planned. We are having a stream on how it went with the solar panels, or it will be something like, oh, look how I managed to save on the energy, or if it fails, oh, look how I failed to save energy and spend. How much were the solar panels? I think the solar panels were a bit under 200 euros. Let me do calculate. I'm still not, my brain still doesn't allow me to automatically convert the currencies. So it was like this. You add on top of that. No, it was like 850 times 120. I don't do math. Okay, cancel. 850 plus VAT. It was like 1060 kunas divided by euro. It's like 140 euros, which was a lot less than I expected, but I bought it directly from the manufacturer, from the factory. So I have to go on Monday to pick it up from the factory. I will be doing some of the shots, driving there, picking it up, getting back there. At one point I thought about talking with them and trying to see if I can get in the factory and record a couple of shots there, but nah, I will not. So yeah, and I'm maybe also you've seen my post on the Twitter. I still am missing 2 connectors. Actually I'm missing only 1 connector to hook it up to hook everything to my grid here. But it looks like it arrived on Friday here on the post office. So I hope that in next 2 weeks I will get it. I still have to drill the wall, outside wall. I have to put the power outlet on the external side of the apartment. So that is something that I also had planned for this weekend, which I didn't touch. And yet I still do have some private things, family things that I have to do. And yesterday, for example, at the evening, I was in the how it's called, the art exhibition. So overall, yeah, it is, Alan. It really is. I always ignored it. And good thing is that I ignored it, because now I am able to show the whole process and to see what I will be able to get from this HomeKit controller. This is popping on and off because my Android TV stick is, yeah. Neil, bye, have fun. Oh, it's still not 8 o'clock. Have a nice dinner, enjoy yourself. I'm really looking forward to see that one. I'm not that big fan of Apple devices. I did use them previously a lot. That one, I sometimes I can be. I'm really emotional person in terms of yeah. So I really liked Apple devices, and at one point, it was a long time ago. I think it was iPad 1 or iPad 2 when I got it, and I started using it as a office tool. And at that point, it really wasn't an office tool, and I started to hate the device because it was limiting on how I can work on the go, and I still needed a laptop. I wasn't able to, do presentation at that point from it, start the slideshow, do PowerPoint and things like that. And at that point, I think that Apple was overselling it, and I was overbuying things, meaning that I expected those things to work how I wished them to work, and they didn't work. So I got frustrated and decided that I will never go for the Apple device so soon. And also, there are differences of how Apple was 5 years and how Apple is today. Today, it's still closed system, but it feels like it's the closed system of Apple is getting more open than the open system of Android lately. That's how I feel, but yeah, it is Vic, and I'm aware of that. But it's like Samsung devices. I really like Samsung phones and Samsung TVs. At one point, I had Samsung camera, Samsung DVD player, Samsung TV, Samsung phone, Samsung. Everything was from Samsung, and those, it's like getting married to the person that doesn't fit you, and at first you ignore some things, and after some period of time, when that honeymoon period, how it's called, stops, you start more noticing those things that bother you than those things that are good, although both of the things are the same as the first day you started using that device or something. That's right, Alan. That's the same thing for me. I was really. It was like I will put analogy here, like Bluetooth. There are some things. There was one thread that Blackadder didn't like what we wrote, and he was like going one way, and we are going the opposite way. I can root devices, and most of I was using Android from the version. I will probably lie now, but something like 2 or 3 when the HTC was one of the bigger mobile phone manufacturers, and most of those devices, you're like, hey, listen, I bought Android device, then you had to root it, then you had to sideload it, then you had to get the APKs, and you have to whatever. And it was like, it was like going out, buying a car, and then replacing the whole engine and most of the electrical stuff just to get it rolling. But at that time, it was also fun. Now it's not any fun anymore. The phone has become a tool that I use every day for work, and that I do for the hobby also. It controls my home. It allows me to do banking, and I need it to be... Oh, thank you, Vic. I always forget that part. At some point, you have to stop customizing each thing that you have. You have to find device that out of box does the most things that you want it to do. Bluetooth was always working in Home Assistant, but I'll listen, but you now have to install that firmware, you have to update that, you have to then do something by hand. It was like, I can do it, but the question is, will I remember what I did in 1 year when it stops working? And I started to hate those things. I want to create things that work now, and in 2 years I can go back to them and know what I did, and that are well documented, that are officially supported, that it just works, like Paul Hibbert would say. But that's why I didn't like Bluetooth because, and I used it. But if you compare it how easy it is to set up Bluetooth in Home Assistant today versus how it was like 4 or 5 months ago, I don't see any reason not to use Bluetooth anymore. And I really do hope that this HomeKit thing will be same thing, you know, show me how easy it is really to use it, you know, to set it up, to create secure local connections. Because as far as I know, this is local pooling, which means no cloud is used. Even if this device is cloud-based device, I can still control those devices locally. Yeah, Mark, I agree. I agree with that one. Thank you, Vic. Yeah, I agree. But one thing I'm starting to see is I'm not sure if Google has become now what it was always trying to avoid becoming. It cannot be you know, do no evil company anymore. And if you I'm afraid, I'm not sure about it. I wouldn't say that I'm tracking or not tracking those news. These are, you know, if I see something, I would try to read about that. But I think that unfortunately, it's not unfortunately, I don't have really anything about any company, just like personal preference. I may like blue color more than green color or yellow color more than red color, but it's like personal preference. It's not like any color is bad or any company is bad. It's just like what fits my lifestyle or whatever more closely. But I think that Apple is, yeah, I don't think that Apple has made some bad choices like Google in the recent years. I would put it like that. I think that unfortunately Google made more bad choices than Apple did. And the other thing is that look at the product support from Apple and look at the product support of Google. Apple still has better phone support, not in terms of servicing, but in terms of releasing updates than, for example, yeah, that's at the end. That's it. Yeah, that's it. You know, but there is no good or bad, and Apple is the only manufacturer of phones for Apple devices. Android is made in such a way that it allows a lot of manufacturers to adopt it and create different devices. They can be round, like brick, or long, short, tall, small, big, no camera, dual screens, etc. And because of that, you have very heterogeneous system. But the problem is that you have too many versions available. Not everything is supported. You have devices like this NS Panel Pro that still use Android, I don't know, 8th version, which Apple would never allow any device to be produced today and not use at least, if not latest, then the version before the latest. And that allows Apple to always have patched devices in terms of security, to always have latest functionality available to everybody, which is, you know, it's completely different. But at the end, you may ask, who is making more for their market? You know, not me looking at Apple, but Apple doing for Apple users and Android doing, or Google doing for Android users. And then you also have the variations from Huawei now, which I really think is a shame because of this global war between the two countries. At the end, we lost very big manufacturer that was really creating phones that were really good one. Also, I agree with that. Some of the things that I did also are not good, but I can explain them. That I would say that the biggest problem is miscommunication. We have that also on the PCs. We have that also on the mobile phones. For example, the one of the cases I'm very familiar with is that I wouldn't. That one I wouldn't. That one I definitely wouldn't. I do have Facebook account. I don't have private Facebook account as myself. I think I don't have it now for 10 plus years. I'm like, you know, AAA for the Facebook. I created one just in case if I needed it for the channel to have the name taken, and I visit there once or twice a year. But Meta, I wouldn't trust Meta. No way. I'm also very scared of the Amazon, because Google and Amazon are similar companies, but they're completely different. Although Google is selling advertising, Amazon is selling products. I don't know if you get it what I mean. I still would have more trust in Google handling Google being the smart home provider than the Amazon one, because Google can potentially sell metadata for me to get the advertisers to try to sell me something. While on the other hand, I don't know how Amazon will be controlling my apartment, because he's also selling me the data. He could potentially, I'm not saying that they are doing, he could potentially, you know, now with buying eRoomba, instead of 1 hour usage of brush, say that it was used like 1 hour and 15 minutes and reduce the life of the brushes and force me to buy brushes. I don't know if you understand, but they have much more possible space where they can abuse data. That's the thing I'm afraid of. Yeah, that's also true. One of the... My wife is here. One of the biggest mistakes I made was buying the Oculus Quest 2. I don't know if you've heard that one. So, but I must not say that aloud, because I spent some money on that one, and yeah. It's an awesome device, but I'm afraid. I'm not afraid. I don't feel comfortable with all the data going to that company. I really don't see the point. I know why they did it, but I still do not see the point of why they forced everybody to create a Meta account to use the Oculus Quest glasses. I will, when my daughter turns 18, I already had a couple of dozen talks about data security, blah, 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 and I will have dozens more, hopefully, in the upcoming years to try to teach her. But there is no way that my younger daughter ever is going to have account on that network to play something. Which also tells you what is the possible. If I have that feeling, I know that some other people also have that feeling, and that gives you the overall feeling of that Meta network. Yeah. How we went from the heating to the Meta network. Yeah, looking at the concurrent user number, I get it. Yeah, they are. But once again, strangely, I still would, if I would have to choose, I would choose Google over the Meta in terms of handling of my data. Until there is a shift in what products Google is also selling and how it is selling, I would still prefer them working on my profile than the Meta. Meta, I don't trust about anything. Yeah, it's funny. In my day work, I work with the one of the other big companies we never mentioned, that I will not be mentioning because I already had a couple of chit chats in my company when I mentioned them, so I will not be talking about them. Is that I don't know if anybody has seen or missed one news article last week. It was that some data was breached, and some data was people were able to access some data corporate data from one big company that was available in one blob in the cloud that was not protected very well. And I don't know, they said like 65,000 chunks of whatever data were made public. And I did search on the database that was holding that data. They were just like, they created the database where you could search if the corporate domain was included in those release documents or not. You were not able to see what documents that company was trying to handle that legally. But yeah, I made on that podcast. I talked about the data privacy, and that it's normal that everybody at one point will be breached, no matter if it's you as individual or the company. The problem will always be how that breach is handled, how I'm made aware that my data is not private anymore, how I will be made aware that my credit card information was stolen or my address was stolen, or whatever private data I have may be in the hands of somebody trying to sell them further away. Yeah, Mark, that's true. This is the same thing as the privacy setting in the Chrome browser, which was, there was a nice article saying that no matter if you have privacy, no matter if you're browsing in privacy mode, due to how this is handled by the Chrome browser, Google is not able to follow you, but they made it possible so that third parties could also track you through the private browsing. The question is, yeah, I need to change my browser.
Tree outside my bedroom window, and the moonlight spread its shadow across my ceiling.
Yeah,
Times when I woke up in my groggy state, it looked like spider webs.
yeah. You're right, Mark. Yeah, Vic. That's true. I've been fortunate enough to work in various projects that people don't have normally access to. I was really privileged to work on some of the projects. Some of them included the armies, others included some other security companies, organizations, etc. And there was a great show that I loved it very much. How it's called? It was like a person of interest. You know, that guy who created the computer that could predict possible future crimes or terrorist acts or whatever. I will have to see that one. Yeah, but you know, it's funny how a lot of things that you've seen in that series, person of interest or point of view, it's person of interest, I think was called, at that time were also, I wouldn't say they were doable. So it looked like a sci-fi TV show, but at the end, you know, I would say that it was greatly influenced by the technology that was already available at that time. And we're talking about real-time voice transcribing 10 years ago or something like that. When on the other hand we have voice transcribing as a control for devices last 7 or 8 years. So usually things first end up in security related projects, and then a couple of years later they end up on the market. It's like Apollo program, you know, stuff was first developed for the rockets and then ends up decade later in our homes as I don't know, new toilet, whatever. But yeah. How I ended up on those topics once again? I should really watch what I'm talking. Okay, any other question? What did I miss anything? Did I want to show anything? Yeah, it is. And you know, it's like Minority Report, the movie Minority Report. The question is only, would we really be comfortable of people getting jail sentence for thinking about crime instead of making it? And on the other hand, if we look at some serious crimes like taking someone's lives, which is the worst crime there could be, would we as people be comfortable with computers making decisions and preventing that person from doing it? And when the person even didn't do it, we put them the same sentence as something would have been done. The moral behind the Minority Report is really great. Yeah, but I also like, I don't know if you've seen Brazil, which is a great movie. I really loved both the book and the movie Orwell 1984. Those are all great stories, but at the end we somehow end up living in them, and you know. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I wanted to mention anything today that I missed. I wanted to, if anybody, but nobody, so we are not going to talk about that one. Oh. So, for all of you that do not know, next week on Wednesday, we should have a new release of Home Assistant. That will be 2022.11. That week, so this will be a first week when there will be no release party from Home Assistant devs. I don't know if you figured that one or not, but that's only because there will be State of the Nation for the. I think that it's already public. It is. Let's check it out. Give me a second, please. State of the Open Home. Okay, so I will just, in case you missed it, I already have notifications on. Let's post it here. So as I said, next week will be a new release of Home Assistant, but there will be no release party from Home Assistant devs, because on the next Sunday, so it's like 4 days or 3 days or 4 days after the release, there will be State of the Open Home, which will be, I think, held in person, Netherlands. And of course it will be streamed over the YouTube, I think, somewhere else also, so join that one. My next video will be about the next release of Home Assistant. I'm still not sure on what topics I will be covering, if I will be covering just one thing or two things, and I don't know. I did mention that this release here is on it. You've probably seen that there are some things that are different now. Just give a second. Also, something here should be different. Do you see something here that previously was not here? So there are some changes. They may not be that big, but still there are some changes. There are some nice improvements. I did have a couple of notes. Last week we had, this Wednesday we had stream. We have once a month stream before when the beta is released, and I also had a fever then, so I was really down and didn't ask too much questions, but I did take down a couple of notes. So I'm still not sure what I will be covering in next video, if I will be going more into overall what changed or in some specific areas of what's new. can't even remember what was new. I know that icons were one of the things here in automations, in devices, etc. I think that something in the UI has changed, sizes, more rounded corners, which some people didn't like. So there were some changes. So yeah. Blah 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 blah. What else? Nothing else. Yeah. And yes, week after that there will be video on my Home Assistant setup. I really hope that the connector. Let's go to that. Give me a second. Where is it? Oh, this one here. This is idiot. I don't know how to copy. Yeah, I'm still waiting for this connector, one of the connectors to finish this solar project. Okay, should we wrap up the stream? Ed will not be. Klaus, thank you. You two also have a great weekend. I don't know if anybody else or who else is having also next Tuesday as a bank holiday or whatever it's called. This way we don't work on next Tuesday, so if somebody is on holidays, enjoy a long weekend. I think I covered most of the things that I wanted, and don't forget that if anybody blah 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 blah. Sorry, my tongue is. If you think that it would be a good idea to do this video on this better thermostat, because as I said, it allows you to enable some of the things without creating automations. And Mark, I don't know if you've seen that one. If not, check it out. Maybe it will be also useful for you too. If people will think that it's a good idea, I will probably do that one. Thank you, Kemi, for all the help, all the questions, because you are keeping me on my toes with the questions. And all you members, don't forget that there are 2 polls for the members only, streams. So please select what days and what time slots fit you best. I still will be keeping all the stream schedules as before, but there will be 1 stream for members only, where we will be hopefully working more hands-on a project, doing something finally and not just talking and things like that. And yes, those streams that will be for members only will later on be available for free, but just the streams themselves will be at that point for members only. I wanted to do this as an additional thank you for all the support that channel members did. Thank you all. Vic, awesome as always. Mark, thanks for where is it? This link here. All of you, don't forget to check this thread that created Mark on the community forum. Klaus, Kemi, Johnny, who was here? Alan, Neil. I will probably miss somebody. Teme, Paul, Klaus, Alan. I did say already. I'm don't count on me. And I will be going offline, and me and my daughter are going to go and watch some Marvel movies. I think we are watching them from the start. So we had Captain America first, then we watched Captain Marvel, and I think that the next movie, if we look at chronological order, is Iron Man 1. So we are going to watch Iron Man 1, if my wife doesn't kick us from TV. Jeff, thank you. Everybody, thanks. And I will be seeing you next time. Don't forget, click the thumbs up, like button. Follow me on Instagram. I should create some kind of something. Alessandro, Thank you, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye bye all.